Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the realms of spirituality and personal growth. Today, we're venturing into a topic that's often shrouded in mystery and rarely discussed openly: the dark side of being a highly spiritual person. Have you ever wondered if there's more to spirituality than peace, enlightenment, and harmony? What about the challenges, the struggles, and the unseen battles that come with a deep spiritual life? You're not alone in your curiosity. In this video, we'll uncover the 6 hidden challenges that highly spiritual individuals face. From the loss of simple joys to the struggles of balancing spirituality with everyday life, we're going to explore the lesser-known, yet equally important, aspects of being deeply connected to the spiritual world. Whether you're well along your spiritual journey or just beginning to explore these realms, I invite you to join this conversation. The burden of deep knowledge. Have you ever considered how deep spiritual insight, though enriching, might also lead to a poignant loss of innocence? As you delve deeper into the realms of spiritual knowledge, your perception of the world transforms. You start seeing beyond the surface, recognizing the complexities and hidden motives that shape our existence. But with this profound understanding comes a certain trade-off. The simple joys and innocent pleasures of life, once taken for granted, now appear overshadowed by these deeper insights. There's a sense of disconnection from the blissful ignorance that accompanies a less spiritually aware state. Laughter and the lightness of life's simple pleasures begin to feel distant as your mind wrestles with existential truths and the heavier realities that underpin our everyday lives. This shift in perception might lead to a kind of mourning, a longing for the uncomplicated happiness that was effortlessly enjoyed before you lifted the veil of deep spiritual understanding. It's a paradox of spiritual growth. The more you know, the more you might yearn for the innocence once had. Does this resonate with your experience? The isolation of spiritual depth. Have you ever felt a sense of isolation or being misunderstood on your spiritual path? It's a path that can be incredibly rewarding, yet it often leads to an unexpected form of solitude. As you delve deeper into your spiritual exploration, your perspectives and insights begin to diverge from those of the people around you. This isn't just about having different opinions, it's about seeing and experiencing the world in a way that's fundamentally different. This deepened understanding and altered worldview can create a gap, a space that's hard to bridge with those who don't share or understand these profound experiences and beliefs. Have you noticed how conversations on everyday topics start to feel superficial, or how social interactions, once comforting, no longer provide the same sense of connection? This disconnection can evolve into a palpable sense of loneliness. You're walking a path that few can join or even comprehend. While this path is rich in inner growth and understanding, it can also be solitary, making it challenging to find like-minded souls who resonate with the same depth of spiritual consciousness. How do you navigate this isolation while continuing on your spiritual path? The challenge of constant awareness. In our journey towards spiritual awareness, we often encounter what I like to think of as wearing X-ray glasses. This means that we, as spiritual seekers, are constantly in a state of heightened perception and discernment. We're continuously peeling back the layers of everyday interactions, events, and even societal norms. It's an enlightening process, but it also comes with its own set of challenges. Every moment becomes an opportunity for deep analysis. We no longer see the world in simple black and white, but through a lens that's always searching for deeper meanings and hidden truths. While this relentless scrutiny can be insightful, it's also mentally and emotionally draining. We rarely get a moment to just relax and take things at face value. And here's the real challenge. Switching off this awareness isn't easy. It's not something we can just turn on and off at will. As a result, relaxation and unquestioned acceptance of situations become difficult, almost impossible at times. We're navigating a world that's rich in complexity but demanding in its spiritual depth. the paradox of vulnerability and strength. In our pursuit of spiritual enlightenment, there's an intriguing paradox that often goes unnoticed: the paradox of vulnerability and strength in highly spiritual individuals. These individuals embrace vulnerability as an essential part of their path. It's a conscious choice, a commitment to remain open and empathetic, even when there's a risk of being hurt or exploited. This openness isn't a sign of weakness. Rather, it's a profound strength. It comes from a deep understanding of the importance of connection and compassion. However, it's this very openness that can sometimes leave them exposed. There are those who might take advantage of their empathy and willingness to see the good in others. It's a delicate balance, maintaining the ability to be vulnerable, which is so true to their spiritual nature, while being aware that it also makes them susceptible to the less scrupulous aspects of human nature. The real challenge for these spiritual individuals is in navigating this path while keeping their inherent openness intact. At the same time, they must develop the discernment necessary to protect themselves from the unintended consequences of their vulnerability. It's about finding that equilibrium where openness doesn't equate to naivety and strength is shown through the courage to be vulnerable. Spiritual bypassing. There's a phenomenon we need to be aware of, and it's called spiritual bypassing. It's a critical issue that often goes unrecognized. Spiritual bypassing happens when we start using our spirituality not as a path to true growth, but as a way to sidestep personal and emotional challenges. It's like using spiritual practices and beliefs as a shield to avoid facing unresolved psychological issues, emotional wounds, or developmental tasks. This might sound counterintuitive, but in doing so, we can inadvertently create a superficial understanding of spirituality and personal growth. True spiritual progress, after all, isn't just about reaching higher states of consciousness. It's also about diving deep into our personal challenges and working through them. The danger of spiritual bypassing lies in its ability to create a false sense of superiority and detachment. When we bypass, we tend to undervalue or even ignore deep emotional experiences and genuine human connections. This is why addressing spiritual bypassing is so crucial. Our goal in spirituality should be to enhance our personal development and emotional maturity, not to hinder it. Let's remind ourselves that the path to spiritual enlightenment involves embracing, not evading, our personal and emotional complexities, the struggle with worldly engagement. In our spiritual journey, we often come across a significant challenge, particularly for those deeply immersed in their spiritual practices. It's the challenge of balancing these spiritual pursuits with our practical, everyday responsibilities. It's a fine line that highly spiritual individuals walk every day. When we engage deeply in spiritual practices and exploration, it can sometimes lead us to feel detached from the material world. This detachment, while it can be beneficial in a spiritual context, often creates a complex scenario in managing our daily life. Mundane tasks and worldly responsibilities might start to seem less important or meaningful. This could potentially lead to a neglect of crucial aspects of life, such as our careers, relationships, and social obligations. The real task here is to find a harmonious balance where our spiritual growth does not overshadow our practical living. It's about integrating our spirituality into our everyday life in a way that enriches our existence, rather than providing an escape from reality. This integration demands a conscious effort to remain grounded and present in the material world, even as we pursue our spiritual enlightenment. It's about living spiritually, not just spiritually living. And that brings us to the end of our exploration into the darker facets of being highly spiritual. Remember, the path of spirituality is as challenging as it is rewarding, and it's okay to confront these complexities. You're not alone in this pursuit. If you found this video enlightening, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Were there any points that resonated with you, or do you have your own experiences to share? I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest videos. Your support means a lot and helps in creating more content that matters to you. Until next time, keep seeking, keep growing, and embrace every aspect of your spiritual exploration, light and dark.